Here you have two different beasts, and the question is which of these is a function and which of these is a functional. So pause the video to think about this. Quick recap, what is a function, what is a functional? So a function is an object, black box, that takes in a number, and let's say a real number here for the sake of argument, and then that black box, that function, spits out another number. So this is our function f. A functional, on the other hand, takes as input an entire function, but also spits out a number. So how can you take a function and turn that into a number? Well, for example, you could integrate that function and then the area under the curve gives you a number. So this is a way to implement a functional. Now going back to the two objects that we need to evaluate. So first of all, we have f of x, the integral from 0 to x t squared dt. There is an integral here, and we just said, okay, integrals is a way to turn a function into a number. So this reminds us of functionals. However, if you carefully study what's going on here, you see that this is not a functional, but a simple, boring function. Because what's happening here is you have your function t squared, like so. And then the function f of x just takes a certain value of x and then calculates the area under that curve t squared. Now you will clearly see that if you take a different value of x, you will get a different area under that curve. So this is a bona fide function taking in a real value x and spitting out a real number x. So that's a function. What about the second guy? So I've written down here f of x, the integral from 0 to 1 x squared t dt. Now here I've been deliberately a little bit misleading or vague, because actually what I should have written is f of x of t, because x in this case is not a number, it's actually a function of t, as you can see from this integral over here. So this is a different situation, because now we have a functional. What do we have as an input? As an input, we have this function x of t, and then we calculate an integral, and that gives us a certain real number r. So for example, we could have the situation where our function x squared of t, so this is t and this is x squared, here we have 0 and 1. So for this particular function x squared, we get a certain value. But if you have a different function x squared, looks very creative here. So this function x squared will give rise to a different area under that curve to a different value. So this, although I try to mislead you, is actually a functional taking in a function and spitting out a number.